Chapter 4. The door to the conference room opened. Yu Mei-lian impatiently walked over to greet. Wu Tao and Bao also hadn't left and were waiting not far away. How was it? I got it. I have to come shoot the ad in 3 days. Sister Yu, help me negotiate a good price. I urgently need some funds, Julian Sheng said while holding his flower juice-stained handkerchief folding his flower juice-stained handkerchief into his pocket. Don't worry, even if you're a newcomer, Aya has deep pockets. You won't be stiffed, Yu Mei-lian assured. Julian Sheng patted her shoulder. Then I'll leave all the details to Sister Yu. I have to go to class later. He walked past Wu Tao, who had a complicated expression and a red-eyed boa. Nodding slightly, he gave them a gorgeous smile. Three days soon passed, during which Yu Mei-lian called and told him that Aya's advertising fee was 500,000. For a newcomer, this was an astronomical price, so she agreed without telling him. To a newcomer, an ad could pay as much as a few hundred thousands in income and as little as a few 10,000. Only a real first-class superstar could do an ad that paid tens of millions. Julian Sheng knew the market, expressing sincere thanks for Yu Mei-lian's efforts. He woke up very early that morning, opening the door and heading to the dining room while putting on a shirt. The young man's skin was like milk, white and creamy, emitting a slight glow under the orange light. His hair was uncombed, only slightly brushed with his fingers. It was messy but sexy. His hair of peach blossom eyes had a layer of mist, because he'd just woken up. When he walked over with a dazed look, he seemed both pure and cute. His figure was very thin, or maybe not so, because his unfastened shirt was partially open, revealing a slice of a flexible and powerful waist, and a neat arrangement of abdominal muscles. Further up was a delicate and graceful collarbone. He yawned. Two teardrops seeped out of his peach blossom eyes, but they didn't slide down his cheeks. Rather, they clung to his thick eyelashes. He arrived at the dining table and sat down, his cheek propped on his right hand, his left hand holding his spoon, erratically stirring the hot cognac. With steam hung in the air, blurring his facial features, but it made that lazy bearing all the more moving. A loud clattering sound disturbed his leisure. He frowned towards the boy sitting opposite him, seeing Ji Han-yu's flushed face as he jumped up, avoiding the spilled cognac on the table. Don't move around, I'm coming. How can such a big man drop his bowl? What were you so absent-minded about? Fang Yudan ran out of the kitchen with the cleaning rag. I was just thinking about my family, Ji Han-yu stammered at the same time. He quickly glanced at Lin Chengze, who was focused on his cognac. Even if he hated Lin Chengze, he also had to admit that the boy's appearance was perfect. He only hadn't seen him for a few days, but his facial features seemed to have opened up a little. His every movement was completely missing his former frivolousness and debauchery. Instead, there was a bit of laziness and elegance, like a Persian cat, resting in the sunlight. Eyes squinted. It made him feel an intolerable itchiness in his heart, wanting to reach out and pet. When Fang Yudan heard this, his heart ached. He quietly picked up the broken pieces of porcelain, wiped up the spilled cognac, then poured him another bowl. His tone was very gentle. Try not to think about your family affairs. You're a senior. Your studies are more urgent. Ji Han-yu nodded, seeing that Lin Chengze, who was sitting opposite, had offered no comforting words. His momentary speck of infatuation dissipated completely, replaced with contempt and anger. Lin Shengzi dropped his gaze, ignoring the ambiguous atmosphere between the two protagonists. While finishing up his cognac, he slowly opened. "Help me ask for a few days' leave. I'm busy." "What are you busy with again? What are you doing? Don't forget that the college entrance exams are in June." Jihan Yu unprecedentedly questioned. "I said I'm busy, so I'm busy. Don't pester so much." Lin Shengzi threw away the spoon and wiped his mouth. Hearing his phone ringing, he picked up, then left the apartment without a goodbye. Jihan Yu went to the window and looked down. He couldn't help but sneer when he saw him enter an Audi Q7. A slut is always a slut. The more beautiful they look, the cheaper they are. He looked back at Fang Yudan, who was diligently cleaning up the table, and his temporarily warped mentality quickly regained equilibrium. Jun Sheng and Yu Meilian arrived at the Aya branch. The staff had already set up the studio lights and cameras in place, waiting for the shooting to begin. "Mr. Orlando, did you forget to give us the script?" Yu Meilian dragged over the blonde foreigner who was scurrying around. "Oh, my little fairy has finally arrived. Quickly go get dressed." Orlando automatically ignored Yu Meilian, his eyes and heart only filled with the smiling teenager standing under the lights. "Your sister's a little fairy," Jun Sheng cursed in his heart, but his face wore a gorgeous smile. He nodded and followed after the stylist. Yu Meilian forcefully tugged at the already intoxicated Orlando and politely asked again, "Mr. Orlando, you forgot the script. If there's no script, how can we shoot?" "Ah, I forgot to tell you. This advertisement has no script. When the little fairy comes back out, we'll directly begin." He raised a hand, smoothing the chaotic hair on his forehead. A tall figure walked through the doorway. When he noticed him, he quickly paced over to greet him. Yu Meilian also turned to look. Then her already strained heartstrings quickly shattered. What the fuck? That man turned out to be Kao Mo-kun. The Kao Mo-kun, known for his ruthlessness, the great white shark of the business ocean. Kao Mo-kun. The Kao Mo-kun that could crush a first-class family just by waving his hand. What was he doing here? Yes, this man was an infamous lover of beauty. Man and woman, as long as he fancied them, he would get them by any means. What if he saw Lin Shengzi? Yu Meilian turned back, her expression somewhat ugly. Most brokers have more or less done some form of pimping. They weren't willing to commit such acts, but the environment that dictated it. Nowadays, if you wanted to be famous, you need to pay a price most ordinary people couldn't imagine. But Lin Shengzi was still underage, and also an orphan. She really couldn't harden her heart. Yu Meilian didn't even consider that Kao Mo-kun would look down on Lin Shengzi. What a joke. Just look at Lin Shengzi's appearance. Anyone who shunned him was blind. Jun Sheng didn't know that Yu Meilian had gotten caught up in an unprecedented dilemma. He was too busy trying to pull up his jeans zipper. Isn't this too tight? I can barely walk. He took a deep breath and sucked in his belly. Not tight, it's just right. The stylist eyed the young man's abdominal muscles, mermaid line, upturned buttocks, and slender legs. As soon as he finished speaking, he wiped off some drool. Jun Sheng's mouth twitched, asking, My top? No top, your upper body will be bare. Shoes? Jun Sheng shook his bare toes. No shoes either. The stylist struggled to move his gaze away and pushed him out. Okay, time's almost up. Head out. Orlando has a bad temper. He starts swearing at people if he waits too long. Oh my god, baby, you're like a piece of freshly baked, fast-melting panna cotta, sprinkled with powdered sugar. I really want to eat you up. Orlando shouted, expression covetous. All the staff looked over with burning gazes, mixed with within was a sharp, prickling gaze. Zhu Chang followed the line of sight, his eyes flashing a little. Next to the director stood a very tall man, at least 190 centimeters. His tailored and expensive suit wrapped his strong physique. His hair was completely combed back, exposing a chiseled, handsome face. His long and narrow eyes were squinted slightly, and his graceful thin lips were slightly raised, his pondering expression revealing wickedness. Kaomukun? Shuyin Cheng dug out the man's identity from the original's memory, then indifferently recovered his line of sight. He looked at Orlando. Excuse me, how do I shoot the ad? Sister, you said you didn't give her a script. Ah, there is no script. We will only shoot you. Every angle, every action, every expression of yours. Then we'll pick all the most beautiful and most sexy shots to synthesize an ad so lively and colorful you can smell it. Baby, you just have to play around freely. Go, go! Orlando pushed the boy into the studio filled with a variety of petals. Zhu Shang looked at the thick layer of petals under his feet, quite stunned. Modeling really was a pure selling sex appeal occupation. Kaomo-kun originally thought that the young man would come over to fawn over him with the usual shamelessness. He didn't expect him to just quickly glance at him, then look away as if he didn't know him. Playing cat and mouse? Kaomo-kun pondered, taking out a cigar from his pocket, cutting it and igniting it. He firmly sucked in a mouthful. Julian Chang walked a few laps on the petals, then waved to Orlando. Could I have a bottle of red wine? I want to find some insight through the alcohol. A beauty, red wine, flowers, perfume. This combination is wonderful. Orlando clapped his hand, his expression enchanted. His assistant quickly brought over a bottle of red wine. Julian Shang took a big gulp, felt that it wasn't enough, then took a few more mouthfuls. The bright red liquid dripped down his delicate jaw and slid to his slender neck, then to his sexy collarbone, down to his fair chest. He put down the wine bottle, his cheeks flushed, his peach blossom eyes hazy and glittering. His tipsy state was extremely titillating. There was a sound of gulping in the studio. Orlando took away the bottle and waved. Did you find a feeling for it? If you have, we can start the shooting. Then he turned his back. He gave the bottle up. When he turned his back, he gave the bottle opening an indirect kiss. Kaomo-kun snorted coldly when he saw this scene, his complexion somewhat ugly. His assistant coughed, reminding, Boss, please take a seat and watch. Now, while everyone is paying attention to Lin Jiangxi. Otherwise, when everyone snaps out of it, you'll be disgraced. He didn't dare say the last sentence, only staring meaningful at his boss's raised crotch. Kaomo-kun didn't find it embarrassing. He strolled to the director's side and asked for a soft chair to sit down in. His sharp gaze was firmly locked onto the young man's body. Yuan Shang was already feeling a little drunk. He gave the camera a smile, eyes absent-minded, then lay down on the petals, giving a lazy yawn. The wine tasted pretty good, making him feel drowsy as soon as he got drunk. Apparently, he felt a bit cold. He gathered the petals on his chest and wanted to close his eyes to sleep. Then he remembered that he was currently filming an ad, and reluctantly opened his eyes. He turned his body to face the camera, popping his cheek on his hand, giving a dazed smile. His misty eyes were intoxicating. Great, this smile is great. We have to keep it in. Orlando's excited face was flushed red.